What if the written word had a shelf life? You're listening to episode 62 of the What If South is Up podcast, a world building podcast where D20 gives us a prompt and we try to sound like we've got a plan.
Spoiler alert, we don't, but we do know how to wing it like an author. I'm Derrick Hall.
And I'm Christina Xtina Lefebvre. All right. So, Mr. Hall, what are you drinking today and what's going on in your real world?
The real world is busy, as always. I'm writing. I've got kids starting school and dealing with all of that mess and navigating the school system. I still can't talk properly. And I am drinking something that I, with the help of AI, have dubbed Durgan's Ember. It is a single malt Islay Scotch,
Oh,
generously gifted to me by a friend.
nice. You know, those are the
Yeah.
friends we need.
Right?
Those are the friends we need.
Oh, well, he didn't
Um,
like it, so.
Good thing he likes you.
Right?
Mm.
Yeah, that's good
See,
stuff. What do
I'm
you have?
I'm gonna say I have something that I'm gonna call just fruit of the French gods. It's more like star fruit, like the candy fruit. It's a Moscato. It's Moscato wine. Very, very
Mm,
sweet. Goes down very, very fast, and it's just exactly what the doctor ordered today.
no, there you go.
And what's going on in my real world? Um, as some of you may recall, I'm trying to relocate to Albuquerque, and I got to tell you, the snow's going to hit here quickly, pretty soon, and I'm really overwhelmed with moving my world to Albuquerque, finding a job, finding a house, emptying this house. I'm pretty overwhelmed right now.
I absolutely believe it. It's a lot of stuff to do, especially with a deadline.
Yeah, and I didn't think it was going to be that big a deal, but man, I've collected a lot of crap from my art
Mm-hmm.
and trying to get rid of it, and everything's from the Airbnbs and everything like that. The hardest thing right now is getting rid of all this stuff. Now, my friends tell me just take it to the dump, and I can't. My heart cannot do that. I
Nah, you
just
got too much upcycle in your blood.
too much upcycle in my blood. It just would break my heart to bring all this to the trash. That being said, I put a lot of bunch of chairs out on the sidewalk to give away for free,
Mm-hmm.
and they're got rid of like 95% of them, and the other morning 4 of them came back. I woke up in the morning and somebody had brought the chairs back.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. What show was that? I think it was How I Met Your Mother. Might have been Friends. I don't exactly remember. I'm pretty sure it was How I Met Your Mother. They did a whole episode about the like, I forget what they called it. They had a name for it, but the spot on the curb where if you put something there, it will go away. Like as soon as you turn your back, it's gone.
Oh, I wish that were
And
true.
yeah, it doesn't work that way for most of us. But I mean, maybe if you're in a big city, I mean that could make sense. They were in New York, so. But
Well, I gotta tell you, if I put stuff out in front that was good stuff, it would absolutely disappear. There's no
mm-hmm.
doubt about it. But each of these chairs needed work, so I'm sure somebody just didn't want to do the work.
Yeah, I've had that problem too. We've had a lot of estate sales and yard sales and people putting stuff in the alley with free signs on it and stuff like that. And it's either ridiculously overpriced garbage or gone by the time you know it's there. There's not much
Mhm.
of an in between. So I get it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What breakthroughs or breakdowns have you had recently in your writing and or world building saga?
Well, I broke through the 100,000 word barrier today. Working
Woo-woo!
on book 3, making
Good
progress.
job.
I'm probably a little bit more than halfway through it, which is embarrassing to say, but
A hundred
um
thousand words, and you're not towards the end. You're just past the midpoint.
yeah, it's
Wow.
probably going to end up around 170 or 180, I think
Wow.
is
Well,
what I'm looking at based on what I need to do still. So, yeah, we're in the middle of a giant battle. Things are going on. It's getting crazy. But yeah, it's fun. Um, as far as actual story, world building breakthroughs, I got nothing. Like I've just been fighting my way through these scenes and
Yeah.
hasn't been a whole lot of world to go with it. Um, but I have a lot of threads to tie up and that's proving to be very difficult. So I may or may not have had a whiskey fueled breakdown about that the other night. So, yeah, what about you? Anything new?
Yeah, I went down a rabbit hole. Um, for those that know me know that I love technology. I love learning new tech stuff, and
Yeah, of
I
course.
love so I learned about Plotter. Have you heard you know about that
Mhm.
um product? So they just recently if you get the pro version, it's in the cloud. It's not just, computer based. You can do it in the cloud. Anyways, it's a whole outlining software program.
Yeah.
And I have been deliciously learning Plotter while embarrassingly ignoring actually writing words, just
Oh.
just tucking my story into Plotter. But I will say for anybody out there that is, it's not for writing your application. So Scrivener allows you. It's a place to write your book,
Mhm.
and you can have some plotting tools. Right?
Right.
There's some things in there that you can customize it to be a plotting tool. Plotter is an outlining/plotting tool that you could write your book in, but you really don't want to.
Mhm.
So, um, so Plotter allows you to import and export to and from Scrivener, which is awesome.
Mhm.
But I gotta tell you, I don't know, for the plotter/outliners out there in the world, it's definitely something to look at.
Well, you say Scrivener isn't for outlining, and that's the part of Scrivener that turned me off to it because it was way more than I would ever use.
Right. So if you just use it for just writing your scenes, it's
Yeah.
great because it has the formatting and you can, drag and drop scenes around and then you can
Mhm.
export it to EPUB and other things. Um, and you can color code like I'm not done with this scene or I am done with this scene. So there's things you can do
Yeah.
in Scrivener that helps with the writing process. Plus, one of the features I like, and I think your I can't remember what you use, has the same kind of thing, but I can set up what my daily word count is that I wanna do,
Yeah.
and I have a little bar down at the bottom that moves along to tell me when
Mhm.
how far I've got to go to reach that.
Mhm.
So little things like that are cool, but the
Yeah.
plotter tool is it's there's some limitations, but that's because I'm a techie nerd, so I wish it could do other things, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kinda beautiful.
It's when you build your own.
Yeah, I've got enough things to do. Thank you very much.
Well, let's be honest, if procrastination was an Olympic sport, most of the athletes would be authors.
That's cute. That's cute. You stole that from someone.
Nope. Nope, that's
Nope,
mine.
that's yours.
That's mine. Derrick Hall, 2025.
Yeah, there you go. Um, so let's talk some more about stories. What world have you been exploring that's not your own? Um, was it a show? Was it a book? And tell me what it brought to the table for you as a storyteller.
Well, I haven't done much on the TV or movie end of things lately that was particularly interesting. And as far as reading, that's kind of boring too. I'm back to He Who Fights with Monsters because, oh hey, there was another book that I didn't know about.
Mm,
So I'm reading that. Everyone's getting tired of hearing that. They're really good. Go read them. Um,
nobody's tired of hearing that. Everybody loves that. Nobody's tired of
right,
that.
but I've only been saying that every other episode for the last 3 years. Um, I have been playing a game though that I've played before, but it's been a long time. It's there's two of them. They're connected, direct sequel kind of thing. It's Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War, but they are a spiritual expansion to Lord of the Rings.
I figured it was going down that way.
Yeah, so pulling from the Silmarillion and a lot of the appendices and things like that, and some of the lore that isn't really touched on in the main canonical stories. Um, yeah, and it's fun. It's a kind of a shut your brain off and play sort of thing, but at the same time, the way they went about weaving an actually interesting story out of really random details that may as well have come out of a ledger somewhere because of how incomplete they were. Um, yeah, so it's fun. It gives me a way to shut my brain off and chill.
So speaking of that, I was listening to a podcast and it's Cam Weiland. Can't remember the name of her podcast at the moment. Um and she was talking about how we as writers should be delving into other stories. Doesn't
Mhm.
matter the what we call the portal, doesn't matter.
Yep.
But she goes that we should do it with intention.
Mhm.
And I get that. I totally get that. Sometimes though, we do need just to let our brain off. I mean, turn off
Yeah.
our brain and just let
Yep.
it to cook to mush. But when I'm looking at something I want to watch on TV or something I want to pick up and read, I'm thinking about how is this going to help me be a better writer or storyteller? And
Mhm.
if I choose to spend this next hour or two consuming this, I better come back with something for storytelling.
Yeah.
And when I go into a story like that, I gotta tell you, it puts a different spin on watching it, also takes the fun out of it on some level. But
Yeah, because you're trying to scrape something useful out of it instead of just enjoying it for what it is.
even if you're not just scraping, you're right, you're paying attention to the structure instead of the story, and that is work.
Mhm. That is absolutely work.
Yep.
Yep. But so I'm a massive Tolkien fan. That's not a secret. I'm one of those neck-bearded nerds. Um, but I've read all of the Silmarillion and Lays of Beleriand and the things that most people skip for the sake of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, all of the appendices and that sort of thing. I've read it all. So I can see the bits that they scraped out of all of that to weave together something new for these games. And it's interesting to watch how they did it.
Mhm.
So, in a way, there's a little bit of mental story research, I guess, in a way,
Yep.
structure research, whatever it is. But at the same time, it's a game. You get little bits of story and then you go do a bunch of stuff. So it's not just constant like watching a movie or a show could be.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it gives me a break, but at the same time, I can look at it and go, I like what they did with that. I would not have thought of that. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
I like those things.
I like those too.
So, as far as watching shows lately, I just got done watching it was only on for 2 seasons, was the, uh, Quantum Leap reboot.
Yeah.
It was from 22 to 24. There was only 2 seasons.
Yeah, I
I
never got
I
around to that one.
I I really enjoyed it. I can
Yeah.
see why it didn't get to 3 seasons. I
Mhm.
understand it. Part of the thing is that, during the first season, they had a love relationship where they couldn't connect. So, in many, many shows, they have a will they, won't they,
Mhm.
and this wasn't a will they, won't they. This was more along the lines of, "Oh, now they can't because this reason,"
Mhm.
right? Even though everyone knows they both want to.
Yeah.
And the chemistry between the 2, how do I say this? The chemistry went really well one way, but not the other, so I
Mhm.
believed I don't know. It was kind of a they missed the mark in a couple of different places. Anyways, but the stories that, they told with each leap, I thought it was fascinating. I loved it.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
It was really good. I liked it, but I can see why I didn't go for a 3rd season. So, what did it pull away from me, or what did I learn about it? Um, I guess the best thing I can say is just be careful of, uh, the love line or the love romance story going too
Mhm.
long. You can't let it go too long.
Yep.
Yep.
That is completely fair. You have to have some sort of payoff with that sort of thing. You can't just let it float forever.
Yeah. You can't. I mean, even if you get let it pay off, but then something happens again for the next season. I get that,
Mhm.
but n no payoff was kinda weird.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, so moving on, uh, our D20 gave us a number 5, which led us to this what if scenario. Okay, what if books had a limited lifespan, slowly erasing themselves after being read a certain number of times?
Mhm. So this immediately puts in my mind the old, Mission Impossible show from what
Oh,
was that, the '60s? "This message will self-destruct in 15 seconds," or whatever. That is immediately what pops into my head. I know that's not what it says or what it means, but that's what pops into my head.
that's cute.
Yeah. At least it's
So,
not Tom Cruise.
at least he wasn't in the '60s, people listening that are very young, I just want you to know. Um, uh, so let me say that again for our listeners. What if books had a limited lifespan, slowly erasing themselves after being read a certain number of times? Now, when this question popped up, the first thing I thought of was, "Oh, what a wonderful excuse to have an oral storytelling tradition."
Yes. Or a reason to fund libraries much, much more heavily.
Wow. Or, "Oh, this is why printers are rich in this world because books have to
Right,
be reprinted
right.
constantly."
Yeah, nothing ever goes out of print because the old ones aren't still around.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. That's interesting when you think of
Right?
it at a capitalistic kind of way.
Yeah. So, another thing that I'm thinking on this too
Mm,
is that books kind of already do this.
after 1,000
Particularly per
years.
no, particularly print books. You read them enough, they wear out, they fall apart.
Yeah, but it would take
You
like
go get
100
another
years.
copy. No. I
So,
have worn through books to the point where the pages just fall out and disintegrate in my lifetime, and I am not over 100 years old. Thank
so
God.
you say. I don't know if we believe you.
Oh.
Now,
Yes,
what
I
I think
invented
of this
time travel and I'm still poor. Um,
what I think about this is when I read this because it's slowly erasing themselves, it'd be like you're the 12th person reading the book and you only get like every 3rd paragraph or something, so
mm,
it
no, I see it more as like,
"Hey, don't correct
it
me. That's
just
your world. This is mine."
no, I hear what you're saying and I disagree.
Your
I
world is your
disrespectfully disagree. Um, no, I see it more as the whole thing just slowly fades to white, like heat
Yeah,
sensitive invisible ink. Not a
I hear
piece
what
at
you're
a
saying.
time, but the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
see it that way.
Hmm. Of
I like
course
the
not.
idea of in my mind, I'm imagining in mind where else would I imagine? I'm imagining, this library that, is hundreds of years old. The technology it's post-apocalyptic. They have no way of printing books anymore,
Mm.
right? So books are precious.
Yep.
Um, and so you can't have people read them that often because slowly parts of it disappear. And then the 13th person that read it doesn't get the story that the first person had and fills in their own blanks.
Mm.
And then they go off and they start telling these
So it
in
becomes a
this
choose your
oral
own
tradition.
adventure at a certain point.
At a yeah, yeah. But
See
I
that
see it.
that's when I would bring back scribes and have people start making copies of books. Use one of the reads to make a
Mm,
copy.
yeah, there you go. So we're way too practical for this.
We are.
I just like the idea of the books being precious.
No, I completely agree, and I think books are precious, but not enough people hold that viewpoint.
I think
Um,
stories are precious too.
yes. But it would be a good reason to bring back an oral tradition. It'd be a good reason to bring back the old way of scribes hand copying books if you have no way to reprint them. And I disagree that they disappear a piece at a time, and I think they fade all at once.
So it's really interesting the way that this question's written. What if books had a limited lifespan? What if stories had a limited lifespan? So it doesn't matter how it was documented. The more the story's retold, right?
Yeah.
Bits of it get forgotten or erased.
I
So you
think you
can't.
just described an oral tradition.
Yeah. Well, you know what's really fascinating? I read an article recently about some of these oral traditions from indigenous societies,
Mhm.
and the story that the people tell has some kind of origin story for the species or for where they came from or whatever from
Mhm.
their people. Science is now going back and finding that these stories are accurate up to thousands of years.
Hmm.
So the same stories being told over time, over 1,000 years, and it still holds the same truth. And I just find that fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah, that is interesting. Part of me wants to argue that you can tell a story with the same truth and it not be the same story.
Mhm.
But yes.
It's that bit about that one truth. So, a good example is, the
It's
first bowls will
Go ahead.
the first
Sorry.
the first bowls were made from walnut wood, right?
Mhm.
Over time, maybe it became plates, and then it became pecan wood.
Mhm.
But in these traditions that if this one study found, it was always bowls made from walnut over 1,000 years.
Huh. That's interesting. Very, very interesting.
It is. So when you talk
Yeah.
about oral traditions, we're not talking about the game telephone. You remember the game
Right.
telephone?
It's
You
not
know,
grandpa's fishing stories.
right? That
Yeah.
that change with whomever the audience is.
Yeah.
Oh, so I like this idea of what if stories had a limited lifespan that slowly erased them to after times, because this means that it's really important that you listen for the first time
Mhm.
because you may not ever be able to hear the story again. That just changes the dynamic of listening or consuming a story.
Yeah, for sure.
But we're too practical for the idea that
We
it's a
are.
book
We are.
that gets erased. We're just
We're
way too practical,
we're solving problems over here.
which we're not. That's not what our job is. Our job is to find a story in it.
Yeah, well, we're both very logical, very practical people. It's kind of hard to break that.
Can you see a story in this at all?
Um, I could potentially. It would not fit into my main series, but I could see maybe a short story where
Yeah.
you need that one specific book in order to finish a quest or something, and all the copies have faded out. So you just keep looking for that last copy that hasn't faded out yet.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. It's like the nerdiest side quest of all time.
Love it.
Yeah. Could be fun. That could actually be a really fun premise for a D&D campaign too.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to solve this big problem? Well, you need to find this one book, but it's enchanted and every copy of it wears out after it's been read a certain number of times.
I like, it fits into my thing too, where every copy has different pieces missing
Mhm.
or, different words missing, I should say.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think we did it.
I think we did a thing. That was fun.
I think that was fun.
That was fun. All right,
You can
everybody. If you have a
close.
what if that you want us to build out, send it to wisesouthisup@gmail.com or hit us up on Facebook. If you, as a listener, have a question you want us to answer or would like to be a guest on the show or know someone that you think should be a guest, send us that as well. We are
Please.
on Facebook, and all of our episodes are on YouTube now as well, if that's more your speed. I'm Derrick Hall. You can find me on most of the socials at dhallauthor, or Instagram's a little different, but you'll still find it. And Xtina, where can we find you?
I'm Christina LaFave. You can find me at Uniquely Xtina because Uniquely is easier to spell than LaFave.
I have wondered why you did that, and now it makes sense. 3.5 years into this, it finally makes sense. We're gonna learn together.
We're gonna, yes. So, Uniquely Xtina is my website. And I'm on TikTok, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So, there you go.
Awesome. All right, well, thanks for listening. Stay curious, and don't forget to wing it like an author.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Toodles.